This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. A Georgian national detained in Armenia last month on a Russian arrest warrant has been released. Georgi Tumasyan, the head of the Armenian Community Platform of Georgia, announced yesterday. Georgi Kinoyani is free. Armenia has denied his extradition to Russia as it would pose a threat to his life, Tumasyan wrote on Facebook. Kinoyani, who reportedly fought against Russian forces in Ukraine, had been held in Armenia for over a month. Moscow accuses him of mercenarism, while his family has warned that extradition to Russia could result in inhumane or life-threatening treatment. His detention had sparked an uproar among Armenian civil society groups and human rights defenders who said extraditing him would constitute a gross violation of Armenia's human rights obligations. Activists also pointed out that the arrest warrant for Kinoyani was issued not by a court in Russia proper, but in Donetsk, a territory occupied by Russian forces in eastern Ukraine. Tumasyan added, however, that another Georgian citizen, Bano Sabashvili, is still in custody in Armenia, following a Russian extradition request. According to media reports, Sabashvili was arrested on September 9th, although news of his detention only surfaced earlier this week. He had travelled to Armenia on a business trip, unaware that he was wanted by Russia. Sabashvili served in Georgia's armed forces for 8 years, before joining an international unit of the Ukrainian military after the start of Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022. Armenia has on multiple occasions refused to hand over individuals to Russia when their extradition could expose them to political persecution or unsafe conditions. Armenia's political landscape is starting to take shape ahead of the June 2026 parliamentary elections, with new movements emerging and veteran figures signaling comebacks amid widespread public disillusionment with the political elite. Arman Tatoyan, the country's former ombudsperson, launched a new political initiative today called Wings of Unity, marking his formal entry into politics. Speaking at a convention in Yerevan, Tatoyan said the movement was born from a desire to support the people and unite everyone's efforts. Wings of Unity means we must have each other's backs, lift one another, and look forward together, he said. It also stands for the unity and solidarity of the Armenian people, both in Armenia and the diaspora. Tatoyan told supporters that Armenia must write a history not about defeat, but about recovery with dignity. Today's loss is not the end of the journey, he said. We need unity to overcome divisions, to build a future free from the burdens of the past, yet mindful of its lessons. The Country to Live party, affiliated with billionaire and philanthropist Ruben Vardanyan, who is currently jailed in Baku, has also confirmed its intention to run in the 2026 elections. Its co-founder Mesrop Arakelian has told Radio Free Europe's Armenian service that while discussions with other parties are underway, they will under no circumstances cooperate with forces led by Armenia's former presidents. The people have already passed political judgment on them, he said. Former President Serge Sargsyan yesterday denied reports that his Republican Party might form an alliance with the Armenian National Congress Party, led by former President Levon Ter-Petrosyan, saying such an idea never existed and that the party has not yet decided whether to participate in the 2026 race. Another former President, Robert Kocharyan, who leads the opposition Armenia Alliance, announced earlier this week that his team will take part in the elections. Kocharyan said the 2021 snap vote, where his bloc gathered 21% against the ruling Civil Contract Party's 54%, proved that he, quote, retains influence over a significant part of the electorate and that a potential for discussion still exists, end of quote. A nationwide survey conducted by the US International Republican Institute in July showed that political apathy remains widespread. 61% of respondents said they do not trust any domestic political figure. Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan topped the list, cited, however, by just 13% of respondents. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 29. That's because 29% of Armenian nationals are believed to reside abroad, according to a report from the World Bank published last year. A total of 55% of those live in Russia. Workforce outflow constrains the country's GDP growth, the World Bank says, despite improving Armenia's economic growth outlook earlier this week from 4% to 5.2% for this year, compared to its previous forecast published in April. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.